was out, they pull me back in.
The bishop wanted to do something very, very special for his birthday, and he flew this young man on commercial airlines to New Zealand, to Auckland, New Zealand, the beautiful Hyatt Hotel, which was a trip for Anthony's 18th birthday. And on that 18th birthday, Bishop Long engaged in an act of oral sodomy with this young man. That was supposedly the manipulation of this young man.
Man, those are some very strong allegations. What do you guys think? You guys think Eddie was playing this song in Auckland, New Zealand for these young boys? You think this is what was playing?
Kick off your shoes and lay back and let me soothe you.
God damn. Boy, I sure hope I hope for his sake it isn't true. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I hope for his sake it is not true. But anyway, what's up, everybody? What's up, Radio Podcast Land? Welcome back to another exciting installment of the Real Talk Radio Show. I am Craig D, your gracious host, and we are back broadcasting live from the great city and state of Little Rock, Arkansas. What's up, everybody in the Little Rock area? What's up, Big Russ? What's up to everybody who are fans of the Real Talk Radio Show? I appreciate you guys' support. The show is growing by leaps and bounds, people, and I am so glad. I am so glad for all of you guys' support. We're going to have a good time on today's show, man. On today's show, we're going to talk about the Eddie Long fiasco. I wasn't going to touch this subject. I was not going to do it, but everybody else is talking about it, and people have been sending me emails asking me what I thought about it. So I decided to devote a few minutes to this topic. But let me start by saying this, people. Let me start by saying this, that this is not a time for any of us to really be celebrating. And you guys know how I feel about religion. I think religion is the biggest crock of shit that ever plagued the earth. And again, let me distinguish between religion and God. It's religion that I have a problem with. Religion is man-made. It was made by people like myself, by brothers like me, that came up with them some shit in order to have some power. That's all. That's all religion. Islam, Buddhism, Catholicism, Christianity was man-made. All religions are man-made. There's a difference between religion and God. Keep that in mind, people. So even though I make fun of Eddie Long and preachers and Christianity, and I make fun of Islam and Buddhism, doesn't mean I don't believe in God. Again, all religions were man-made. Don't you guys forget that. I believe in God. I just don't believe in religion. Okay. Now, having said that, again, this is not a time for any of us to celebrate, particularly black men. We don't need to be celebrating at the demise or the befall of any black man. We shouldn't be celebrating that a black man is about to go down. You know what I'm saying? Let's celebrate when Rush Limbaugh ass fall. Let's celebrate when Sean Hannity and Glenn Beck and Fox News. Let's celebrate when their asses fall. Let's don't celebrate when a black man gets into some shit. Okay? This is not celebratory material. I don't want to see Eddie Long go down. You know what I'm saying? But if he did engage in these acts, well, there is a severe price to pay. And from what I understand, he may have been engaged in a little pedophilia because these boys were underage when he first started dealing with them. From what I hear, I don't know. But we're going to talk about this on today's show, okay? And today's show is brought to you by Hattie's Tamales, 3576 Kirby Parkway in Memphis, Tennessee. If you're in the city of Memphis, make sure you go by and check out Hattie's Tamales. Best food, best customer service you'll ever experience. Tell my boy Chauncey that Craig D sent you by. And today's show is also brought to you by All Pro Styles, 7304 Canis Road in Little Rock, Arkansas. Some of the best barbers in the city. My boy Jacob is over at All Pro Styles. Go by and see Jacob and tell him that Craig D sent you by. Okay, before we get into today's topic, let me tell you guys what we have lined up for tomorrow. Tomorrow, let me cut the music down. Hang on. Okay, again, man, tomorrow is going to be a very, very deep and informative show. And tomorrow's show is a must hear. If you are a parent, you have got to listen to this show. You've got to do it. Tomorrow, I have the privilege of interviewing the author of the book, The Skeletons Are Out, Miss Kenya Richardson. Kenya is a native of Little Rock, Arkansas, and she has written a very graphic and vivid autobiography, if you will. Kenya tells the story of her life. And let me read to you. Let me read to you the first 2 paragraphs. And I want you guys turn your music down and listen to what this young lady experienced when she was 8 years old. She says, I was an 8-year-old who attracted a 16-year-old female, and 2 years later, a 15-year-old female, and a 60-year-old man. I don't know what motivated these individuals to do what they did to me, but it stripped me of my innocence. It made me shy away from everyone, creating a sense of loneliness and depression at an early age. Every weekend, I would go over my friend's house and stay until Sunday. We went to church together, so I wanted to go every weekend to get away from all my brothers. Until after our trip to Disney World. My friend had an older sister, and I had to sleep in the bed with her on our trip. One night, their mom and dad went out to eat. My friend was asleep in her parents' bed, so her big sister crawled in the bed with me. She pulled my panties down and began to put her fingers inside me. She made my vagina wet. Only thing was, I didn't know what I was supposed to be feeling, but she did. She went down and began to put her mouth on my vagina. She stuck her tongue inside it, and then she put her hands over my mouth as she lay on top of me. She moved her body up and down until her body started trembling, and she got up. After we got back, I didn't want to go over their house as much. Instead of telling my friend what her sister had done to me, I began to show her. I asked her if she wanted to play doctor. I was the doctor, and I wanted to look at her private parts. That was my way of telling someone because I couldn't tell a soul. I was too embarrassed. And I didn't want to have to stop going over my friend's house. But I felt that her sister would do it again. And she did. One night, I spent the night over there and I slept in the bed with her sister. She did it again, and this time she made my body tremble all over. I was 8 years old, and I'd had my first encounter of an orgasm. You have got to read this book, not for the salacious details like that, but she is vividly recalling her experiences as a child. And she attributes some of this abuse to her making some poor decisions in her life. And I think that's to be expected. Any sociologist, any psychologist will tell you that victims of sexual abuse often act out in several ways. They may become promiscuous. They may become abusers themselves. They may get involved with drugs. They may rebel. So Kenya is going to tell her story tomorrow for you guys, and you have got to tune in and hear this story, man. You've got to. It's one of tragedy and it's one of triumph because this young lady is well adjusted. I mean, she has a journalism degree from the University of Arkansas. Anyway, I'll let her tell her story to you. So make sure you guys stay tuned, man. You tune in for tomorrow's show. And if you have been a victim of sexual abuse, you've got to listen to this show. If you know someone who's been, you've got to listen to this show. If you are a parent, you have got to listen to this show. You've got to read the book. I want you guys to go right now. Go to theskeletonsAreOut.com and order Kenya's book. I am going to put a link up on my website, so you guys can order it from my website if you so choose. But order this young lady's book, man. It is a page turner, and again, it's a story of tragedy and one of triumph. So read Kenya's book, The Skeletons Are Out, and